All right. Thank you very much, Chairman. I think I need this. It is indeed my first ADM as a chairman, but it is my 20th ADM as a member. So as much as I'm new in the role, I'm not new in the Sacco. Actually, I used to joke and say I'm member number 10. So there are only 9 members who registered before me. So I'm probably older than almost everybody here as a member. But it's my first ADM as a CEO, and it's a great pleasure to serve Kingdom Sacco. Kingdom Sacco to me is more than a job. It's not really a job. Kingdom Sacco is more of a mission where we have a very, I always remind my staff and the management that we have a very noble responsibility, which is to steward not the money of the members, we are stewarding the futures of the members. Because the money they bring is the future of their children. The money they bring is their livelihood. The money they bring is the future of their retirement. And therefore, it is always good to look at beyond the money that we are stewarding. We are stewarding members' lives. And that's why, to me, it is a great honor to stand here as the new CEO for Kingdom Sacco. And in reviewing the past year, you'll forgive me if I don't go through the normal protocols. It's my first time, so you'll forgive if I have any errors along the way. But I wanted to start by looking at last year was a very good year for Kingdom Sacco. As the patron said and as the chairman said, God has been very faithful to us. He has really guided us through quite some turbulent times as the laws of the country changed, as the spending habits of the citizenry changed. But Kingdom Sacco, I am pleased to report that we did really well in last year. Our revenues grew in about 14%. We grew from 99.7 million to about 111.4 million. We also grew our investment income from 18 million to about 23 million. And this we want to also commend our partners who have recognized they're very key in helping us grow our investments because in their fields and in their environments, they're able to identify opportunities that will be key for Kingdom Sacco, and therefore they help us to grow our investments and then give a good return to our members. The Sacco also grew the asset base. We grew 14% from 1.16 to 1.2 billion. So now we are 1.2 billion in asset base. The other notable data that I wanted to bring to your attention is that we also grew our membership by about 2,000, from 16,489 to 18,407. And all these points of growth in every single area that we mentioned, it is because the management, the staff, the board, the patron, the partners that we have, and you as the members, you all played your role. And because of that, we have been able to grow the Sacco even while which grew 14.4%. So now our core capital is 237.5 million. All these things are just some financial summaries to show you the aspects of which we grew. But there are some other key areas that I wanted to bring to your attention just to let you see and know how we performed and what we did as a Sacco. And one of the key things that I'm going to bring to your attention or bring to your focus is life within Kingdom Sacco. As members, you don't really get to see how we treat the staff that you have placed within our hands. These are the people who serve you. These are the people who process your loans. And if we are truly Kingdom Sacco in the sense that we espouse the values of the kingdom, we thought it would be good for you to see how is the life of the staff inside of Kingdom Sacco. What are some of the... You have it ready? So it's 2018 in Kingdom Sacco family. This is the staff. So we thought it is good for you to see what we do outside the office that allows us to serve you the way we do. As you can see, lives are growing, people are getting married, people are having children, and because of that then, when they come to work and they are serving you now, there's a certain aspect of you have contributed to their lives as much as they are contributing to your lives. So on top of that, we also invested quite a bit in ICT. Kingdom Sacco has been recognized over the years as one of the leading SACCOs in ICT, and we continue to invest more in ICT so that we can bring better service to our members. One of the core projects that we invested in this year was a core banking system. The reason we moved from the old banking system we had to the new one was so that we can be able to serve the growing membership of the Kingdom Sacco. So the system we had before we had completely outgrown its functionality, and we needed a new system that will allow us to continue to serve our members and also bring new products to our members, especially in the mobile and internet services. So in looking at that, we implemented the core banking system. I think now we are about 4 months or so into the new banking system, and that has even improved our services because it automated a lot of the back-end services, and therefore you're able to be served in a faster way using this new system. We, as the patron noted, and as the chairman noted, we had the executive transition of Mr. Dalmas, and we wanted to use this opportunity in the ADM as the staff of Kingdom Sacco to express our gratitude to Dalmas for the years that he served in Kingdom Sacco. When he came in, we were a small SACCO somewhere in Githurai market, and today we can talk about being a SACCO with an asset base of 1.2 billion. And that has been the effort and the leadership of Mr. Menya. So we wanted to make sure that at least in the ADM, we appreciate and we let him know that the services he offered, we are building on that platform. Beyond that, looking into 2019, there are particular strategic objectives that I wanted to bring to your attention. One of them is listening to our members. One of the key things we've been trying to do this year and going forward into 2019 is to be able to listen to our members in terms of their financial needs. What is it that our members need? So that way we can tailor our products towards the needs of our members. So as your needs evolve, then our products are going to evolve. And on that note, I wanted to bring to your attention a product that most people didn't know was existent, and we didn't do much to market it. But now going forward in this year, we want to make sure our members know it's there and be able to have our members utilize. And that is the housing financing product. So as Kingdom Sacco, we now have a housing product. And the housing product is supposed to help you build your house. It is a cry that we had from a lot of our members. And it is not a new cry. It's one that has been there for over the years. And now we, as the board, together with the management, have been able to tailor our housing product to more fit your needs. So now members can come and apply for a housing product. As long as you have a piece of plot somewhere where you want to build, you can come and apply for the housing product and we'll be able to finance your housing needs. We chose this strategy rather than going the way of building houses for our members because we realized we have members across the country. If we only build in one location, then our members in other locations will suffer. And we also realize our members have preferences on where they want to live. They have preferences on where they want to build. So because of that, we as Kingdom Sacco decided to tailor our product to meet those needs of the members. Therefore, as long as a member has a plot somewhere they want to build and that's the place they have chosen, as Kingdom Sacco, we will come in and partner with you in financing your housing. On top of that, I wanted also to mention that going forward, we have been able now to improve our mobile app. Now new members are able to register themselves using the app. And also as a member of Kingdom Sacco, you can register a new member using our mobile app. So we no longer need people going to the field with forms for people to fill, and then after they fill, they bring them to the office, and then now they can start transacting. We've been able now to add that functionality to our mobile application, and now you are able to do self-registration using our mobile application. We will continue improving it so that the model we have and the thing that we want to have in the future is an instance where you do not need to set foot in the Kingdom Sacco office. You can use your mobile as your Kingdom Sacco office, do all your transactions, your transfers, loan applications, loan disbursements, approvals, everything through your mobile application. So that's one area that we are really focused on investing and improving the services. The last part I wanted to bring is some new partnerships. As Kingdom Sacco, as we keep growing, we are realizing that we need more global partnerships in the things that we are doing. And in that regard, the management together with the board, we've been exploring some new partnerships that will facilitate us offering you better products, cheaper products, and at the same time also being able to meet your needs. In that regard, we have a few partners we are working with right now from Japan and from the US. As soon as that produces something, we'll be able now to present to our members. But it is all in the interest of making sure we can be able to have products that actually fit your needs, but also continue to create products that are more affordable. It would be our desire that as we go on over the years, the rate that we charge you for the loans goes lower because we have partnerships that allow us to give you cheaper loans. So those are some of the things that we are focusing on in 2019 as the management and also together in partnership with the board. And on behalf of the staff and the management, I wish to thank the patron for his role in the spiritual oversight of the institution, the board of directors for good enabling corporate environment and corporate governance. They have really supported us in everything we've been doing. And also to thank our members. There is nothing possible without our members. It is you who has enabled us to do and to grow as much as we have grown. And as we move forward, we want to actually increase our partnership and come closer to you. We want to have more visits where we visit our members. We have to have more conversations with our members so that as Kingdom Sacco is growing as in line with the changing needs of the members. So we really would like to thank our members for supporting our initiatives, supporting our operations, and continue to be faithful to Kingdom Sacco. That is all I had for my speech, so thank you very much, and may God bless you. I'll invite back the chairman. All right, I think we'll first have the supervisory committee, and then we'll have the chairman.
Thank you so much. My name is Jose Anjoroge. I'm the chairman of the Supervisory Committee. And before I make my presentation, I just want to introduce my team, the team that we work with in the Supervisory Committee. We have Mr. Steve Mwangi. We have Madam Rachel. So that is the team that we work with in the Supervisory Committee. And we are grateful to God for that. I think we, as the patron said, we are very, very grateful today. Just reflecting back and saying the far that God has brought us. I think to me, Kingdom Sacco is not just, it's not just as, it's not just a Sacco. It's not just a place that we get financial solutions. Personally, I happen to have an account with, I think, Family Bank. But what happens is that any money that comes from in my account in Family Bank, I have to transfer it first to Kingdom Sacco and spend it from Kingdom Sacco. I think the money coming directly from Kingdom Sacco is more tastier, is more sweeter, isn't it? And I think I'm not alone in this room. Eh? So we are very grateful, and we own Kingdom Sacco. Kingdom Sacco is us. And we are very, very grateful to God, seeing the fact that God has been able to bring us. I really don't have much to say because I think much of what I wanted to mention has already been mentioned in the patron speech in the CEO. And for me, it's just to emphasize on a few points. Then I'll sit down. I think the Supervisory Committee is a committee that is established under the Cooperative Act. And basically, our role is, as the word suggests, is basically to supervise. That is what the government expects us to do. And having supervised, then be able to present a report during the ADM like this one. And that is what exactly we want to do. Now, I've written a very, a report. I think I wrote it and then realized I think it's too long. So I may not be able to read it, word by word because it is in black and white. I just mentioned a few areas. Then I'll be able to sit down. I think on the financial performance, I think we continue to witness growth in various aspects of the society. I think as an auditor, we were able to go through the financial statements of the society, and we can confirm that there are all indicators that the society is strong, the society is stable in terms of liquidity problems. Issues. We have not had any issues of liquidity problems, whereby maybe members are able to apply for loans that qualify, but they're not able to get loans because of liquidity. I think our liquidity is very good, and we want to continue to thank God for that. So in terms of financial stability, I think the society is stable, and we continue to look forward for greater growth in the years to come. I've also reported in terms of the expenditure. I think we were able to analyze the expenditure of the society. Of course, you know that the society is expected to spend within the approved budget, and we can comfortably confirm and report to this forum that all the expenditures that was done during the year 2018 was within the approved budget by the ADM. The other issue probably I would want to mention is the issue of the corporate governance. And to me, corporate governance is a major issue. I think I was listening to the head of, the Commissioner of Cooperatives speak, and they're saying that one of the challenges we are facing in this country in terms of the cooperative movements is the issues of bad corporate governance and outright fraud. I think I was reading the newspaper last time and saying that somebody can manage to transfer a cool 1.5 billion from the society to his personal account. Well, I don't know the facts of the case, but that was what I was reading. So the issue is that corporate governance is very, very critical because that's what determines the existence of any particular society. And if the corporate governance is working well, then they're likely to be success in any particular society. And therefore, on matters of corporate governance, we report as follows: that the provisions of the services at the society was carried out above board without any report, claim, and indication of any form of corruption by employees and the society's directors. We also report that due diligence was observed in disbursement of loans and services to the members and was done in compliance to the provisions set out in the Societies Act, rules, and societies bylaws. We also confirm as a supervisory committee that we did not come across any cases of fraud or misappropriation of funds, and none was reported to us from any party during the year. So we can confidently report that we didn't come across any cases of advance money that was paid to a dam somewhere, which has never been constructed. So we can comfortably report that the finances are secure, the funds are secure, and we continue to thank God for that. On the issues of compliance with SASTRA requirements, of course, you know that Kingdom Sacco as a deposit-taking Sacco is actually regulated by the SASTRA. SASTRA is the prefect for all the SACCOs, and we can report that the Sacco continue to be in compliance with all the financial ratios as expected by the SASTRA, and all the reporting requirements that are expected to be done to the SASTRA were done, and within the prescribed time frames. The last issue I want to probably comment on is the issues of the transition, which I think the patron and the CEO have already commented on. And the transition from the CEO office was done well. We didn't have any issues of acrimony. It was a well-handled transition. Actually, in my career life, I've never come across any other transition that was as organized, as planned, as the one that we witnessed during the exit of our former CEO. And we continue to thank God for that and continue to pray for incoming CEO that God will continue to give him wisdom and knowledge to be able to carry forward. With those few remarks, I think just to emphasize that let us continue to pray for Kingdom Sacco. And when we pray for Kingdom Sacco, please don't pray for the computers and the money, the money, because that is safe. The thing to pray for is the leaders. The issue to pray for is the board, is the staff. Because if that is well catered for, then your money is safe. Are we together? So let's continue to pray for them, for wisdom, for guidance, even as they lead us in greater heights in this society. So with those few remarks, God bless you so much.
Thank you very much, Jose, for the report. I'm sure that you were able to get the contents of the report. Yeah, in terms of the supervisory report, maybe we would like to have somebody to accept that report, just the way we do it fast enough, and says we want to adopt that report. We are required to have these as a way of adopting our reports as an ADM. So we'd like to have somebody to adopt that report by proposing it, and somebody to second it so that we can fulfill that. Yeah, let's have somebody to propose the contents of that report. We have Elizabeth Kenodia, member number 200. All right. Member number 200, then somebody else to second that. Yes, so member 94. Solomon Joroge, member number 94. And I expected those two members to be, the CEO is saying that his number is, say 20, number 10. Yeah, he's older in membership than Solomon and Elizabeth. Yeah, very, very interesting. And I was trying to welcome him in the 20th ADM, but I think he felt like he's older. And I think that's very good. So I just want to make a few remarks, but before I make a few remarks, it's good that for some of us, maybe they don't know the members of the board. Maybe if you have, maybe this is your first time to be in the ADM, it's good to know the members of the board whom we have served together with. And just in case it's your first ADM, my name is Meshach Degwa. I'm the chairman of the Sacco. And let's have our board members to stand so that I can introduce them. So these are the members that we have been serving with in the year 2018 up to now. And by the grace of God, we have a good team that we have worked together. And we really thank God for each and every one of them. They have been a resource to us, and they have served us very well. And we really want to thank God for each one of them. Maybe I want to, right here is Peter Bogua, who is our treasurer. Then we have Rose Gure, who is the vice chairman. Then we have Margaret Kanyoro, our secretary. We have Millicent Torre, one of our members. We have James Kehoro. We have Shelmith Mogo. We have Steve Znyoka. And we have Fidelis Musioka. So that has been the team we have worked with. I think it's good that you give them a clap. I just want to make a few remarks with regard to the year 2018. And a number of things have actually been mentioned by the CEO and also the supervisory. But without maybe repeating a lot of things, we've had an inventive year in 2018. We have had a good time. God has given us a successful year in 2018, and we were able to make significant accomplishments in the year, but also the fact that we were able to serve our members effectively. We've had a lot of new issues coming from our members. In the course of our interactions, our members keep talking to us, and that is what informs some of the things that you see. We keep changing, and we keep emphasizing within the Sacco so that we can be able to improve. And one of them has been that issue of the change in the core banking system. And we believe that with that change, it will help us to offer better services to our members, do things in a better way, and just be able to face the future challenges that are there within the financial sector. The financial sector is becoming more regulated. It is also facing many other challenges where we are required to automate things more. People want to interact more with technology. And those are some of the things that have informed our decision to be able to change our core banking system. And we are glad that we have been able to do that. It will give us a platform to be able to bring in a few other things like internet banking, now that we are able to deal with it. Alongside that, it will also help us to we'll also be able to try and secure our systems more. And I'm sure that all of us are aware that we live in a time where cybersecurity is a major concern globally. It's not just in Kenya. It's not just in Kenya that we read the news about what's happening about cybersecurity and other risks that are existing. And the fact that those challenges face other organizations, they will also face us. So we are also preparing so that in case those challenges face us, then we are able to respond accordingly. We know that God really is there for us to protect us. But over and above that, we will ensure that we secure our systems much more. And I think one of the things that you will see even in the current year, as the treasurer presents the budget, there will be a lot of significant issues we are planning concerning cybersecurity so that we ensure we are protected. We ensure that our systems are protected from the issues that we are facing across the world. In the current year, we've had good financial performance. We have been able to deal with all the regulatory requirements in terms of ratios, capital adequacy, liquidity, all the financial management issues. We have been able to deal with them. And I must say the Sacco has been in compliance with all the requirements that are there. And we really want to thank God that He has enabled us to be able to deal with some of those things. We are also in a time when the regulatory environment is changing significantly. In the year 2018, we had a major change in the accounting standards with regard to how we do what we call provisioning of loans when the loans have issues or they have arrears. And the Sacco was in the process of implementing what you call IFRS 9. These are some of the issues that are coming in the sector. That you are required to do things in a particular way. They present certain challenges. They require us to do things we have not been doing before. They require us to adjust our IT systems. Sometimes they require us to ask you members for more information so that we can comply with them and we can be able to do things in a proper way. And we have made significant strides in this area, but more is to come in the year 2019 in terms of ensuring that we have dealt with it fully in the course of 2019. But I can confirm to you that what we were required to do in 2018 in terms of ensuring that the provisions that are supposed to be made have been made in our books, and that has been dealt with very well. The other levels are going to be implemented, of course, in the year 2019. I think we continue to challenge our partners, and we are happy that you have come for the ADM. We continue to have increased requirements from our members to deliver on certain areas. And that is what you heard the CEO mention, that we are launching a product that can enable members to access housing. And that's what we would like to interact more with our partners so that we can be able to offer every single service that our members require of us, or the members come demanding. One of the issues that is on the table is always faces the board is sometimes members coming with particular needs they have that we feel we are a bit limited here and there in terms of meeting them, yet we feel we should have the capacity to do it. And that's why we are saying with the involvement of more partners, we can be able to do more for our members. We can be able to offer these issues that we are saying. And the first step we are taking is to ensure that we can have a fast phase where we can enable our members to access housing. I know housing has been an agenda and out of the major agendas of the country, the big 4 agendas, but we want to do it first in our own small way, where we are able to help a number of our members to be able to access housing. That somebody can say, this is where I want to put up a house. We can engage with that person, and we can help them to be able to do that over and above what we have already been doing, because we have done that a lot through the development loans. But we still feel that even that development loan, there is a caliber of people that it doesn't serve. There are people who are not able to get into housing merely because of what we have as development loan. And we continue to evaluate that to be able to ensure that we can do it practically. We have, as a country, we are faced with problems where when some of these projects begin, they are begun in a particular way that they don't actually take off. And they don't actually benefit the people they were meant to benefit. But I think for us as a Sacco, we want to really say, these members who came to us, this is the need they have. How is it that we can be able to deliver that specific need in our own way, that we can be able to deliver that? And we are open to partnership with our partners, the banks, Equity Bank, Family Bank. We are very much open to partnership, CIC, and also from the Ministry of Cooperatives in this regard, so that a lot of people who come to us and say, this is what I have, these are my finances, what is it that you can do to help me own a house? That continues to remain a challenge with us, and that is why, as the CEO mentioned, we have taken the first steps to ensure that we can go beyond where we are right now. We can go beyond the development loan and be able to assure people that there are a few things we can do when it comes to the issue of products. And of course, we continue to roll out a few more that will help our members to be able to do exactly what they need to do. And I think that is very, very important. Just mentioning about the issue of governance, I think you cannot be in Kenya today and fail to discuss governance issues because they are all over, the challenges. And I think the more, it's almost like when you look at the countries, the more you talk about it, the more it gets worse. The more it gets worse, actually. But we thank God because we know these things that darkness will continue to be there. But for us, we continue to emphasize the fact that we have to do what we are supposed to do. We have to ensure that our board and our staff continue to be trained, continue to be shown the way to do things so that we offer the highest levels of governance in Kingdom Sacco, so that we are able to serve our members effectively. We are able to serve the people that we have very well. And I'm happy to see what the CEO was talking about, that we really want to give our staff a good environment for working, because when they have a good environment for working, then they have, there is a way they look at Kingdom Sacco and say, Kingdom Sacco is meeting their requirements. And therefore, some of those things that come with the staff, they are very, very important for them to be able to help the team that comes to serve you as the members. And we continue to emphasize some of those things. And I'm sure you can see we have a very young, vibrant team of staff. And I think whenever you come to the office, whenever you have your groups and you come to the office, I think the team is always ready and willing to serve you. We continue to train them even much more to ensure that they can be able to offer you the best of the services. And not just the training. The training is required, it's very important, but also the aspect of offering their lives to be able to do what is important. And that's something that continues to happen within the Sacco. So I think in the course of, I think as the CEO mentioned, we look forward to rolling out more things for the Sacco. We look forward to engaging you even more. We look forward to a place where every quarter we can interact with you as the members. I'm sure you can see that maybe in 2018 we had We didn't have a lot of meetings out there with the membership, but as we go in 2019, that is something that we want to have more engagement with the members, right into your groups, right into where you are, so that the issues that members are going through, we are able to address as a society. I think last is just to say we have had, as I mentioned about the board, we have about, every year we have 3 members of the board who have completed a term of 3 years, and they are due to retire through what you call by rotation, and they are eligible for re-election at in today's ADM. So I think we will be presenting that earlier on. But I really want to thank the 3 of them who have finished a 3-year term. They are actually 4 because we had left out the person in the supervisory. So we have Peter Bogua. Maybe you can stand, Rose, Gure, myself, and Hosea. Sorry, we omitted Hosea in the annual report. But these people have, the 4 of us have completed a 3-year term that is, but eligible for re-election, and I think that will take place during the session for elections. We want to really appreciate this team for serving for the 3-year for the 3-year term, and I think you can give them a good clap. Done very well. Yeah, very good. So thank you very much. I think I want to conclude there so that we can go to the next agenda in our ADM. We want to ask the treasurer to come over and present to us the financial report. We want to ask the treasurer to present the financial report. As he presents the report, he will also invite the auditor to give the audit report so that it is just one session together.
Hi, everyone. Hi, everyone. Yeah, I don't know what, sometimes there's a mood that comes when we come to the numericals or the numbers. Sometimes they appear a lot, sometimes little, but I think I always say that at the heart of every strategy, there are numbers, isn't it? Hello? When you make a very good strategic plan, it all ends up with numericals, isn't it? You give us the stories of how you will expand to Rwanda, how you shrink in some other countries, but ultimately you have to reduce that in terms of what will the numbers look like once you have done all that. So the stories are summarized in numbers. So if you had nothing but you appreciated the numbers, then you are home, isn't it? Hello? Yeah, so I would start by a scripture that I think has always been talking to me, I think, at every milestone that I make. And that is in Deuteronomy chapter 8, verse 10. And I know because we didn't carry our Bibles, I'll just say what it says, that after you have, this was an instruction to the Israelites, that after you have eaten and you are full, do not forget to thank your God. Praise the Lord. Do we say praise the Lord in an AGM? Yeah, I think the Lord is sovereign in every situation. But yeah, so that I think really underpins the financials and really the journeys that we have made. And when I look back, I think, and this one I would want to take you straight to page 23. Page 23 of our financial information pack. And actually, that's why I had scribbled the scripture, Deuteronomy 8, verse 10. And why is that important? If I look at the key ratios there, I think there is the interest on members' deposits and dividend on member shares. And you'll notice that in the year 2014, interest on members' deposits was 4%. Everybody there? Now, where are we in 2018? We are looking at a growth over the years. If you look at the same dividends, I think there have been, well, there was a high at some point, then we were able to moderate that. I think you of course understand that when you are young, the ratio sometimes will appear to be held as character, isn't it? Sometimes we tend to assess more of even a human growth as you stabilize, as you get now what you call a normal weight. And I think for us to be looking at a dividends of about 11.5 in 2018, for me it's a growth. It may not be what every other institution will do, but it gives consistency and stability, that we've been moving from point A to point B. And therefore we can look back and ask us and kind of look at now things like total assets, moving from a 580 million in 2014 to a 1.2 billion in 2018. That is growth, isn't it? And then looking at all other ratios, and of course, now looking at the capital adequacy ratios, which I think is also painted there. When we look at some of the key ratio that has been an issue to us is the institutional capital to total assets, which has moved from 4.09 to 9.26 in 2018. And this is a core ratio which even the authorities, SASTRAs and the ministry always monitor. And some institutions or SACCOs have actually been either deregistered or denied license for non-compliance with these things. Okay? So really being able to stand at a place where we are saying that our ratios have actually matured and come to a place where we can say it's a Kingdom Sacco is a stable organization, I think it's a good place to be. Yet we also recognize that we haven't arrived, isn't it? So the journey still continues. So coming from that perspective, now you understand why we would stand in this kind of a platform and say, when we have made that journey from wherever we have come, we should never forget to thank the Lord, our God, because that's really what has underpinned the journey we have come from. It's not that we had a very good armed police to guard our finances, okay? It has just taken the hand of God for us to have moved from that level to where we are, to a point that now we are a respected Sacco within, I think, Tier 2 level. Now, moving forward to, again, now the crux of it, kind of deeper into the financials, and I would want us now to look at page 31, where we have the statement of comprehensive income. And that basically gives us really the movement again from 2017 to 2018. And we're talking about moving the total interest income from 133 million to 152 million in 2018. Again, fairly good growth within that. And net interest income, that is after the deduction of, remember when we talk about trading or earning interest, every income has a cost of sales, isn't it? If you are selling clothes, there is somebody who supplied you with those clothes, isn't it? If you are selling chemicals or fertilizers, there is somebody who supplied you with that fertilizer. So you can never say that my sale is my profit, right? We are tracking on that. Because sometimes when at individual levels, I know last year we dug a bit into kind of personal P&L, where we talked about your income less the cost of your living, which would be rent and all that. And then at the end of the day, you can now talk about what surprises did I make at the end of the day. So in the same context, when we sell, Kingdom Sacco is in the business of selling money, okay? Or money or financial solutions. So that money comes from somebody, isn't it? And so that is what we now talk about. We have, yes, earned interest from 152 million in the course of the year, but we also had to pay back the depositors and the people who have put money into this institution. Are we together? Now, one of the things and the beauties when you present financials in this kind of a forum is the appreciation that, unlike in normal organizations where we will be talking of repatriating profits back to wherever our parent companies have come from, this money we make, a lot of it actually comes back to the members, isn't it? And that's why you find, unlike if you are taking a loan from a bank and our bankers are here, you'd appreciate the minute you pay interest that is gone, isn't it? Right? But when you now take a loan from Kingdom Sacco, to us, you're not a customer. We regard you as a member, okay? So that now, after we have appropriated the expenses and all that, we will give you back we will share part of whatever remains, all right? And that is now why you are a member and not just a customer to us. And that is without due respect with the institutions that we have. So and that's why sometimes when you look at the mathematics and the dynamics of borrowing, if you are borrowing from your institution, that is, you have a loan coming from Sacco, then you know that much as there is an interest you paid of maybe 12%, 13%, then part of that is actually paid back to you, and therefore the net interest factor becomes reduced, isn't it? So if you are clever really as an investor, I think you would have much of your borrowings within the Kingdom Sacco, because you're not just a customer here, you are also a shareholder, and you are also a member, and therefore that part of that, what we are calling now the other interest on expenses, is actually the money we pay back to you for having deposited funds in the institution. So, so that basically now brings us to what we call the net interest income. That is what you call net profit in a trading situation, and that is still what we're talking about, having grown from 94 million in 2017 to 104 million in 2018. And of course, the breakdown of all that, other incomes, which will be, we of course invest in other institutions, like when you talk about dividends income, miscellaneous incomes, all those are other earnings that we will earn in the course of other investments. And a typical case is where you are a salaried employee, but maybe you have some rental houses that you do, isn't it? So that is other income to you, right? So when you record now the total income, it will incorporate all other sources of income that you bring in as an individual, and that is what we're doing this. Why am I doing this? If these financials don't make sense to you at an individual level, then they become just numbers that we can flow through, and you'll be able to really not make sense of it, or sometimes not flow within them. So I always try to relate it with yourself, because we talk about when you talk about persons, there is the legal person, which is now what is formed by as a company, and there is the individual, and all those things, they have lives of their own. So an individual will have an income, whatever salaries or whatever it is. A company will also have income, but they all appropriate, and at the end of the day, they have to really deliver something. Only that when we now come to the bottom there and we are talking about surplus before income tax, that means it's like after you earned all you did and you have spent all you did, what is that remains at the end of it, okay? Now, and that is something that I think becomes important to watch. The breakdown of those expenses, because really when we talk about staff expenses as a block figure, that is 32 million. That figure, of course, has other breakdowns which you can go into the note that is actually mentioned there, and you can actually be able to understand. Like when we talk about other operating expenses, which is 23 million 413, you can actually go to note 12A, which again is listed there for your view, and you'll be able to get what exactly did that incorporate. And that's page 45. You'll find we paid rent indeed within that. We paid miscellaneous, well, their security costs, their communication costs, all those kind of costs are listed there, including the audit and all that. And then the income tax expense, of course, We all love our government, especially when they tax us and they build roads. Sometimes we are uncomfortable when they tax us and they don't do what they're supposed to do, and some of it ends up in boxes in the banks without very clear explanations. We feel uncomfortable, but well, we are obligated and mandated to pay some taxes to the government, right? Together there? So then having done that, I think we close with the net of it is now what we call the net surplus for the year. And I want to now go back, I think, as we kind of start scaling down or kind of winding up. Page 32 has the statement of financial position. And statement of financial position has traditionally been called a balance sheet, okay? And now, the balance sheet means, on one hand, I have assets, right? But on the other side of the assets, I have liabilities. And these liabilities will be either I have bought a car here, so it's an asset, right? But on the other hand, I have borrowed a loan, okay? That becomes a liability, right? And therefore, now, when you now take the assets less the liabilities, then you come with what we come up with what we call either members' funds or capital element of the balance sheet. And this becomes very crucial to monitor both at a corporate level and at an individual level. You've seen people, sometimes people, when they hit the age of 40, 50, they start getting depressed, right? Some of those things happen when you look at your assets and your liabilities, and your liabilities are threatening your assets, okay? That means if all your liabilities were liquidated, they cannot pay your, they cannot actually, all your assets are liquidated, they cannot pay your liabilities. And that starts creating some sort of depression of sorts. And that's why, even as we make these products, okay, you realize that the products will be amplified to you in terms of, yes, we have this loan product, but it's also a journey to complying to that, isn't it? Like now, for you to borrow, you need to have a that, or maybe whatever, a certain multiplier to what you have saved, right? Now, what that means is that, on one hand, you're not just building liabilities for the sake of it, but you're also having a balance, because life actually demands that sort of a balance, that yes, you have assets, but as you build your assets, you also, as you also build your assets, there are certain things that you are incurring along the way. Those things should never really go out of balance. You must be sure that your liabilities are more than covered by the assets you have. That should today, maybe you are running an institution, a school. You cannot have an institution where all the loans, like you remember the Barclays, the Hillcrest schools, right? We all remember that. Eh? Some of the issues you find within those institutions is that, yes, the borrowings went very high, money was perhaps misappropriated at some point, so you ended up with a liability but no assets to show for it. Are we tracking? So that becomes very important as we do that, and that is really what, in a nutshell, a balance sheet is. So what are we saying then? We are saying that if you look at now the structure of that balance sheet or statement of financial position, we talked about the total assets being 1.2 billion, which is a growth from 1.1 billion. Some of the figures that I just wanted to highlight on that is the short-term investments, okay? Short-term investments, and you can also see loans and advances to members. When we, as an institution, we loan new money, that is our asset because it's receivable to us, isn't it? When we invest funds into our partners like Britam, CAC, and all that, that's still an asset. That's actually an asset we have invested into them. And therefore, when I look at that ratio, that you notice that we have had short-term investments going, declining from 244 to 227 million. Can we see that? Now, is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Maybe that's one of the questions that sometimes we'll be looking at it. From where I stand, I think it's a good thing to the extent that I can see our loans, our loan advances to the members growing from 749 to 908, okay? Remember, the core mandate of the Sacco is to lend to members, isn't it? So when I see more of our money actually going into loans and advances to members, that means that there is some facilitation of members' financial empowerment that is happening, right? And therefore, yes, we will still want to invest every surplus funds that we have to the institutions we have, but our joy is when our members are happy, they have eaten, they are full. Remember the Deuteronomy, yeah? They have eaten, they are full, therefore they can thank God on our behalf, and as an institution we continue growing. Are we tracking? So it is from that perspective that I'm like, yes, our assets are growing, we would want to see more patronage from our members. That's actually all I'm trying to say. And one of the things that I was looking at is our what we call the liquidity ratio. I mean, when we look at our liquidity ratio being around 21%, and I think the expectation really is 15%, right? So what basically means is that we are still sitting on excess cash that is available for members to come and borrow. And therefore, when you, as an institution, we are at a safe place. When we talk about, and again, just understanding this, what these ratios mean. When we talk about our institutional capitals, our share capitals, all those things growing, it basically means that we have now capacity to lend you more than we could have lent some years back, isn't it? Now, what does that demand now from you as a member? It also means that as the Sacco grows here, you're also building systems and structures that can utilize the capacity to lend to you, isn't it? Therefore, then we can partner at every stage. We can lend you more. You have systems to borrow more, isn't it? So building that, I think, becomes essential so that we don't have just excess cash sitting with us, and yet it could be beneficial to you. That also means that really, if you have, we want to actually position the Sacco to a point that when you stretch out your hand, then your first point of borrowing actually is the Sacco, because remember, you are a member, isn't it? So that is actually all we are trying to build alongside that. So having said that, I think those are the main things that I wanted to highlight. And at this particular point, I would be happy to invite the auditor to come and confirm whether the blah blahs will give a new real truth. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. God is good, and all the time. Thank you very much for inviting me. My name is Charles Gaduto. I'm a partner with Mazars, Kenya. This is the audit firm that has been auditing this Sacco for this is the third year, I believe. And we are glad to see your growth, as the chairman has mentioned, and also to have the privilege to audit your books for these 3 years. So mine is very short, as you know, and it's also important because it's an assurance that what the treasurer has said, Honorable Treasurer, as far as the bookkeeping and the financial management of the Sacco is concerned, is it in the right direction, or where are we as far as the financials? Because as per the law of the land, we are supposed to ensure that the books are audited. And this is done by an independent person, a qualified independent auditor on the financials of any institution. So ours is to be here today to give you assurance as what we did, and is it in agreement with the international standards on auditing or not. So, just maybe before I talk, I said Mazars is an auditing firm in Kenya. It is an international firm. We're in 89 countries currently. We have a branch in Rwanda. We have 5 partners at the moment and a staff of about 60 staff. So we have, I would say we have capacity to undertake this kind of audit. And having said that, I would want to draw your attention to my report, the auditor's report. According to your booklet, and this is starting from page 26 to 30, from page 26 to 30. As you are aware, members of Kingdom Sacco, we used to, a few years ago, we used to have 1 page of the auditor's reports. Now, with the growth in the accounting profession and auditing profession and the international standards growth, there are more disclosures are required to be given by the auditor as he gives his report. So there are more disclosures, more reporting that we need to give to you members, and more so to a SACCO like this one. We consider SACCOs to be public interest organizations. What I mean by public interest organizations, people are interested, you invest your money, so it's a public. If it's a quoted company, people have an interest in quoted companies because they have invested their shares, money in shares of those companies. You have put in your money in this SACCO is a public interest company. So the requirements of ISA 701 requires that we give more disclosures about our reporting, our opinion, and what we call key audit matters. And even as we start the audit, as we do the work, maybe to also mention, we carried two exercises during the audit. We had what we call interim audit, which was done in October, November last year. And then we had the final audit, which we did in January, February of this year. So to ensure a smooth and efficient audit of the books, so that you don't spend too much time during the final audit verifying and looking at the systems. We looked at the systems during the interim audit. That was in October, November last year. The other thing to mention, of course, is to draw your attention to page 27 of my report. I want to thank the chairman because he has really commented on something that I was meant also to comment as the auditor. There is what we call this IFRS 9. This is a standard that replaced, if you are an auditor, if you are an accountant, there was a IAS 39, which is on financial instruments, measurement, recognition and measurement of income. This IAS has been replaced now by IFRS 9. And what is required now as per the international standards is to ensure that organizations, as it comes to measurement of income, comply with IFRS 9. And this IFRS 9 became operational from 1st of January 2018. So these financial statements fall under that period when this IFRS is starting. And as the chairman has mentioned, it has to do with provisioning. What are the requirements for provisioning for bad debts? How do you categorize your debtors? How do you categorize your bad loans? And it is quite complex because, as he mentioned, it requires investing even on softwares because you need to categorize per this international standard. Now, there is a journey, and the Sacco has started doing that. And we also looked at the SASRA comment on IFRS 9. They sent a circular to SACCOs in October last year. And as a start, they were requiring them to disclose or to follow what they themselves require. Because as you know, the Act also requires that even the performing loans, you have to assess them, assess their performance, and put a caution as far as the performance is concerned. Now, when it comes to provisioning, when it comes to measurement of income, when you provision, it reduces your profit because you are cushioning yourself against the possibility of loans becoming bad and not being able to recover them. So IFRS 9 is more on that area. The Sacco has started following it, and that is what we have noted on that page 27. It is what we call one of the key audit matters that we identified when we came to audit this Sacco. So, therefore, there is more that needs to be done in the coming years, as the chairman has stated, and we expect, if we continue as your auditor in the coming year, to assess and also look into this area much more to ensure that you are not exposed as far as the compliance with IFRS 9 is concerned. Having said that, members, we went through the books as required, of course, and if you look at page 30, we state that we have obtained all the information. When we went down on the ground, the information that we required, we were able to obtain it. That's number one. As far as our tests, because we do tests, we test the information that we receive. Test for compliances. Yeah? And to ensure that systems are working, we have given what you call letter of management, weaknesses that we noted, to improve on the systems of the Sacco. So we obtained all the information we needed. We also say, in our opinion, proper books have been kept by the society. Number 3, the society's statement of financial position and comprehensive income are in agreement with the books. We were able to assure ourselves as far as that one is concerned. We were also able to state that the society is solvent, and we have reasonable grounds to believe that it will remain solvent in the foreseeable future. What we mean by that is that the ability to meet its obligations. Its obligations, that means to pay its creditors, to advance loans to members. The society is solvent, and that one is also supported by the liquidity ratio, which the treasurer has mentioned the minimum is 15%, but currently Kingdom Sacco is at 21%. So it is much higher than the minimum, which is 15%. So we were able to assure ourselves that the society is solvent. And also, we also want to state that nothing has come to our attention that causes us to believe that the business has not been conducted in accordance with the provisions of the Sacco Societies Act and the Cooperative Societies Act. So we also looked at, is the Sacco complying with the law? So we were able to assure ourselves as far as that one is concerned. And therefore, in our opinion, which is on page 26, our opinion is on page 26. The society's financial statements give a true and fair view of the financial position of the Sacco, Kingdom Sacco Limited, Kingdom Sacco Society Limited, as at 31st December 2018, and of its financial performance for the year 2018, and that the society's financial statements have been properly prepared in accordance with international financial reporting standards and the applicable law. The applicable law is the Sacco Societies Act and the Cooperative Societies Act. Because as you know, when you registered initially, you registered under the Cooperative Societies Act. When you became a Sacco under SASRA, you now are regulated by even the Sacco Societies Act. So with that, I want to assure you, members, that the society, as far as our assessment is concerned, is in the right direction, and there is more to do in the implementation of these IFRSs, but we believe you have capacity, your staff have capacity, and we have also assessed that to ensure that management is qualified, and the society is heading to the right direction. When we started the audit, you had not hit the 1 billion mark. You were at about 900 million. Right now, you are 1.2 billion mark. So as far as SASRA is concerned, you have been upgraded some level based on their standards, and therefore we are glad to say that we expect the Sacco to grow even in this coming year. With that, members, I want to thank you very much for allowing us to audit your Sacco. We have expressed interest to continue in office, and we believe that's your decision. And thank you very much as I return back the meeting to the chair. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Gatuto, for the audit report, which I think has been presented to us, and the audit opinion has been expressed as per the requirements, and we just want to adopt the financial report in this ADM. So before we can ask if there is anybody who needs some clarifications with regard to the audit report, just to first of all adopt the report by having somebody to propose that is propose the report, and somebody to second it. Then we will have adopted the report. So anybody to propose the report? All right, somebody at the back there. Magdalene. Member number 260, Magdalene Godho. Thank you, Magdalene. Somebody to second that? Yes. Member number 6843. Member number 6843, John Wamoge. Yeah. Thank you very much. From what has been discussed by our treasurer and also from the auditor, I would like to know if there is any area you felt you needed clarification. We always have room for a question. Maybe there is a number somewhere you feel maybe should not have been there. Just feel free. Maybe somebody asked, kuna mahali naona kama mliongeza 0 ambayo haikuwa inapaswa kukua. Any question, any question to the auditor and the treasurer? All right. Yeah, seems that there isn't any question. All right. Thank you very much. We will also ask the treasurer to come back now to present to us the budget for 2019. Thank you.
Hello. Yeah, I'm back again, and I think as we started, I did mention that all strategic plans or operational plans are reduced in numbers. Remember that? Hello? You remember that? Good. So now, in terms of our projections into the 2019, which is contained in a green paper that you have there, one of the things we've done is that we've pasted the 2018 figures there, whatever that we have closed the year with, and now projecting into 2019. And remember, I always say that budgeting and forecasting and strategic plans, really that's where you find faith, isn't it? Yeah? The 2018 is historical, right? Hello? Yeah, so that is historical. Now this is where we are expressing optimism and faith that you will continue working with us, and we will actually record growth. And it's biblical. The Bible says, commit your ways to the Lord. Isn't it? So now this is the ways, part of the ways we are committing to the Lord in terms of our plans, and with the faith that you will be able to patronize us and actually increase your interest in us. And as I stand here, one heart is I want growth. But on the other hand, I am also looking at compliance and ensuring that the structures are working, right? So that's why I'm like, yeah, we are launching a housing product, which the CEO has explained very well. But I also expect you as our members and the people you represent that you will journey towards complying with the product requirements. Hello? That's okay? So that when you do that, it ensures that if the product demands that you have, let's say, a 10% share deposit for the 10 million that you want, you have actually done that, isn't it? So that means that when you make your application, you can almost make it with the certainty that the loan you want, you can actually be able to get it, isn't it? And that also makes it predictable for you that you can actually commit somewhere that maybe I have a house, I have a plot somewhere that I need to do, but I've also complied in terms of setting my house in order. So that means that we are all journeying towards empowering you as we also make sure that the institution is stable. Remember, what you borrow from the institution is actually members' funds, isn't it? Hello? And you're also a member, isn't it? So you want to be able to sleep tight that your funds are safe, but on the other hand, you know that your solutions, financial solutions, are being met in-house. So, having said that, now our budget for 2019, we are looking at from interest on loans, we target to do 162,316,519. Usually, when I look at budgets, sometimes I would tend to do a lot of zeroizations, zeros and all that, because yes, the 162,316,519 tells you it's not a guess figure. It's worked out from an understanding that there's a certain loan book that we will be having. Okay, so that means that we're not just putting a figure there, but we are banking on all the loans that we have set aside. They will be borrowed, and therefore when they are borrowed, they will earn as interest, and as they earn interest, then we will be able to report 162,316. But we're also banking on the fact that we will also have interest income on liquid investments, meaning we anticipate we still will continue with the excess liquidity that we have, which means that actually the problem is more to you to make sure that you sweat this liquidity that we have for your benefit, okay? Are you able to get that view? So as we do that, then that's the basis under which we are looking at that. And as we do all those interest on loans and all that, we also anticipate we will pay you more for depositing your money with us, isn't it? Okay? So I think from that platform, then we are now looking at, we target to earn a total income of 149,789,294 in 2019. And in 2020, we anticipate that we will be able to do 185,496,000. Administrative expenses have modest growth, the depreciation on assets, business development costs. We will, of course, continue reaching out to more members, as we do not want our Sacco to actually stagnate. So we will continue reaching out to whoever really we feel can benefit with what we are offering. And therefore, our total expenses for the period are expected to grow from 68 million in 2018, 97 million in 0.7 in 2019, and 121 million in 2020. I think the breakdown of those figures are actually contained within there. And so we anticipate that our net profit will grow from 45 million in 2018 to 52 million in 2019 and 64 million in 2020. Are we tracking? Okay. So then part of what we intend to continue investing in, as you've heard, I think, mentioned by the chairman and the CEO, we are living in a technological era where, like, we are, as the books actually continue. Well, you remember there was a time when we used to have those booklets that you'd have to work with. Now that growth to a point where now we are saying that you are able to sit in Lamu somewhere without requiring a branch and open a bank account and then transact, borrow, and be able to guarantee each other within that environment. I think most of us by now, you have either received loans requiring guarantees online. Have we? Let me see by a show of hand whether any one of us have approved a loan for your members online. Have we had that? Yeah, I think I can see, quite a number. I think almost 60% of us have actually had that. So it means that actually the manual booklets and application forms are coming down. But as we do that, we also recognize there are cyber security issues and all those things that comes alongside that. That's why you find in our proposed CapEx budget for 2019, of course, we have equipment there which we need to target. Very modest budget on furniture and fittings. ICT and computer, we are looking at a 2.9 million being part of the IT equipments we target to invest in to basically secure your money. And of course, the new banking module there of 2.5 million, which is they're all geared towards really the cyber security and ensuring that our systems are more secure from the ever complex cyber security threats. And of course, in 2020, we target to have a reduction now of our CapEx budget, because I think by now, having come from a point where we invested heavily in a software in 2019, in 2018, 2019. Now the system is in place. The core banking system is in place. So we're just now trying to make sure that it's secured in 2019. And of course, as we move to 2020, it's basically now sweating these assets to actually make us more efficient, make sure that our service to you as our members is actually real time and taking as short time as possible, and that basically will be able to make sure that our services are efficient. This is actually, in a nutshell, a summary. Of course, there is a bigger, more detailed Excel workings and listings on some of the things we target to do, but in a nutshell, that contains what we target to do in 2019 and 2020. And I think that will really sum it up for my presentation on financials, budgets, and I'm very grateful that we can stand here and say that from an independent kind of audit perspective, that our books are true and fair. Okay, I think that is something. I didn't hear you clap well for us. I think we need to get that clap. And as I say this because I sit as a treasurer of Kingdom Sacco, but there's a team that does those numbers. And I want to appreciate the finance team led by Agatha and the CEO, of course, for having prepared the nitty-gritties of those numbers. And we can actually sum it up in terms of that presentation. Now, if Perhaps I could just wrap it up by requesting for a proposal for this budget so that we can be able to adopt them. A proposal. Peter Kamau, number 6, 661. And seconder. Yes. Steve Mwangi, 2965. Any questions arising from the budgets, having adopted them? Any clarifications? I'm not doing this as a formality. I'm actually serious. If you have questions, shoot them now. And without further questions, I want to return the meeting to the chairman. Thank you. You can be clapping for me as the chairman comes.
Yeah, so thank you very much. I hope we are going on well. If we are tumesoma namba sana, I hope we are moving together. Maybe we can stand up a bit, stand a bit, and then we sit down. Yes, stretch a bit, and then. Yeah, very good. We are now moving to the last 2-3 agendas. Yeah, now we can have our seats. Yeah, very good. We want to go through a few resolutions. So you can refer to the paper, to this paper on your booklet. So that we can go through that. And for those who have been into our ADMs, most of the resolutions here, the first 3 resolutions are just the standard resolutions. So we're just going to go through them. And then I think there is a 5th one that we did not put on the paper, but we'll just go through it. The first one is the board recommends the retention of the indemnity cover for each member of the board to be 150,000. This is in compliance with the rules that in case a board member does something that is not in accordance with what is supposed to happen and the society loses money, then they should compensate the society to the extent of the 150,000. This is individually as a board member. So I think that's the first resolution. We want to keep it as is, that the board recommends the retention of the indemnity cover by each member of the board to remain 150,000. Do you have somebody to propose and somebody to, first of all, I hope, are we in agreement? We go ahead, we continue with what we have had? Yes, all right. Thank you. So somebody to propose? Yes. Wilson Kifadi, member number 380. Member number 380. Somebody to second that? Yes. Peter Kingori, member number 1583. Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. The other resolution has to do with the borrowing powers, which if as a society we want to borrow money from, let's say, our financial partners or from whatever source, we need to have a resolution where you have allowed us to do that on behalf of all the members, that we can do that so that in case we get to June or July and we feel we want to go to the bank and borrow some money, then we don't have to come back to, we don't have to call an ADM. We have passed the ADM and we have it ready and we'll be able to do that. So far we don't have any borrowing as a Kingdom Sacco. We have not borrowed money from the banking institutions. As the treasurer was mentioning, we have generated our own internal liquidity by the deposits from our members, and therefore we have not had the need to borrow. But should that need come, then the board should go ahead and do the borrowing. And some of the needs are good enough, where we can be able to say our members are borrowing very good loans. We may have a good need, an actual good need for us to borrow. If you have a major pipeline of housing loans and we feel that the way we have priced it and organized it, we can borrow some money and continue to serve you members, then it is good. So there is a restriction by SASRA that our borrowing should not exceed 25% of total assets. So I think for us, we are just saying, you give us the mandate to do the maximum, though we may never do the maximum, isn't it? You're just saying, you give us the mandate, but we will do it as need arises. So we may not get to this level, but just in case there is need, we are able to do that. So that's basically what we mean by the second item of borrowing powers. So do you want to give us that mandate? Members, metupatie your mandate. All right. So let's have somebody to propose and somebody to second. Of course, we will. The board is conscious of good financial policies and procedures and all that. I know when there is a very big debate in our country today about our borrowing. Maybe that is why members are a bit quiet on this agenda, because of the discussion in Kenya whether have we borrowed too much or have we not borrowed too much. Sidio? See, we are discussing that in our homes and in our WhatsApp. Eh? Yes, the discussion is there. Let's be frank, the discussion is there. It's a constructive debate. And so, at least sisi hatujaanza kuborrow. So no one of us should be worried. We are moving in the right direction. So somebody to propose. Yes. 70. Member number 70, 35, William Mwangi. All right, somebody to second that. Yes. Charles Minor, 7221. So thank you very much. Thank you for that agenda item. The other one is payment of interest on deposits, dividends, and honoraria. The board recommends payment of interest on deposits of 44,728,960 in terms of interest on deposits, and dividends of 12,576,015, and honoraria of 694 to the board. So basically, those are the payments we make after the ADM, interest on deposits, which as per the financial report of the treasurer is 6.5%, and the dividends of 12 million, which is 11.5%. That is the share capital that you have, 11.5% of your capital. And we continue to encourage members to increase their capital base, to increase their deposits, because there is some return that you can be talking about every year. And we continue to encourage people to do that. And I think that's important. So 6.5% and 11.5. So all we can do, we can gladly tell the CEO to retain all this money for future growth. I think members want to make that decision. All right. So let's have somebody to propose. So we are in agreement we pay dividends and interest. All right. I have had very few yeses, so maybe next time we come up with a different proposal. All right. Let's have someone to propose. Yes. Come again. 886, Mr. 886, Mr. Bogwa. Thank you very much. Somebody else to second that. $26.44. Name? Simon Nganga. Yeah, Simon Nganga. Thank you very much. The other one has to do with, we have what we call a benevolent fund. And this is a fund where we contribute 200 shillings once a year. Contribute 200 shillings once a year. And in case a member of Kingdom Sacco passes on, because this is part of life. Today you are there, tomorrow somebody goes to be with the Lord. So what happens is that the family is paid some amount to take care of the funeral expenses. So we have actually been getting 200 shillings every year. At the end of the year, we deduct it from your savings. We want to be able to increase that to 500. Maybe I can just read through. Kingdom Sacco remains focused on enhancing the services as well as the benefits of our members. From the benevolent fund built via contribution from members at 200 per year, Kingdom Sacco has been conferring a funeral benefit to the bereaved member's family of 50,000. This amount has increased to 100,000 shillings in the last 3 years without seeking a change in the member's contribution. As a result, the kitty is running low. The board therefore seeks members' approval by way of resolution to increase the contributions to 500 per year to take effect from 2020. We are putting that because the first contribution, we want to now say from 200 shillings to 500 shillings. I think this was not correct. It's 2020 because you've already deducted for this year. Oh, okay. Yeah, all right. Yeah, it's 2020 because we have already deducted for this year. So that is why we are putting there 2020, so that the next deduction we will change it from 200 to 500. That will ensure that the kitty has sufficient funds, and in case there is a need to check these benefits, we will not have to come back to the members for additional money in the next couple of years. I think this 200 has been there for, if I remember well, we have had this kitty for about 4 years or thereabout. And I think it's been running very well. So do we increase it to 500? Yes, all right. So let's have somebody to propose. Yes, and please speak up a bit louder. 1984. 9984, yeah? All right, member number 9984. Very good. Somebody to second that. Yes. (943). Yeah, thank you, Nancy. Paper number 943. Thank you very much. And the last one is auditor's appointment. It is not on it's not on the paper there, but the board has felt that it is good to retain the current auditors. As you heard Mr. Gaduto say that they offer themselves for extension. So based on the board's discussion, we felt we can continue with the Mazars as our auditors in the year 2019. So are we in agreement on that? Yeah, so let's have somebody to propose. Appointment of auditors. We are retaining the current auditors. We are not making a change. So, anyone to propose? All right. Thank you, Pastor Luke. We will gladly remind you your number. Yeah, we'll do that. But thank you for the proposal. I know there are people who maybe already know your number offhand, so we'll consult them. All right, somebody to second. Yes. 4268. Member number 4268. Name, please. Josephat. Yeah, Josephat, member number 4268. So thank you very much. And I think we clap for yourselves. That's good. All right. Okay. Yeah. I think we go to the other item on the agenda, which is elections of board members.